Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Keira. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. I'm so grateful to be here today. Yesterday, I tried to record and I didn't get up early enough, and then my kids started taking showers, and if I don't record the minute I wake up, I don't get this podcast done. So it feels lucky that I'm here right now recording. So we're going to begin. And today we're going to start the way we've been starting with this deep breath in, breathing in faith. But I want to shift something because I saw something last night as I was on my walk. And I saw the power of breathing in the energy of love and then breathing out the fear. So we're going to do the same visualization, this beautiful, I see it like a veil of light circling around us. And as we breathe in, the light is coming into our body through every pore of our being. We're going to breathe in the energy of love. So I want you to close your eyes. If you need to, wiggle your ribs or your toes or your fingers, your nose, just get into your body. Then we're going to breathe in the energy of love. Ready? We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out all fear. We're going to breathe in love. Then we're going to breathe out fear. We're going to breathe in love. We're going to let this feeling of love just expand through every cell of our body, wrapping every cell in the environment of love. And as you breathe out, we're going to let all the fear leave. I'm listening to this book called The Biology of Belief. I highly recommend it. And in it, he talked about how you cannot go on two different paths at the same time, how your cells can only follow one path, and they either follow fear or love. There's no other way. And when they're following fear, well, you get all the results that fear brings. And when they're following love, you get all the results. But if you're living in stress and fight and flight, then fear is the path your cells are following. And that's when I saw, oh my gosh, when we do this breath, we breathe in love to be the environment of our cells so our cells match the pattern of love. And I'm pretty sure that moment on my walk last night, listening to those words, could have possibly changed the trajectory of my life. And I hope that it changes yours, for it is the environment, not only the environment that is around us, which is important, but it's the environment within that can change the trajectory of everything we have, everything we do, everything we are. And so we're going to be doing this practice because I believe it is powerful, because it is something I'm doing every day that I'm feeling it change my life. And so we will do it here. Yes. I'm going to read to you a very vulnerable message. I just received it a few days ago. And because I think it's powerful. So I received this message on August 22nd September 22nd is the day that my marriage ended 3 years ago. And so these are the words that God gave me. Labor pains have been getting stronger because the 3-year marker is 1 month from today. 3 is a powerful number. It is one of completion and wholeness. It is the Trinity, the finite, the holy, and the sacred. Birth brings pain and anguish, only to be met with joy and love. And I would say, leading up to literally August 22nd, the labor pains that I've had in my life, like waves of the deepest pain I've ever experienced, have come through. And it was waves. And God kept showing me these are labor pains. Because if you remember when you're in birth, labor flows like waves, and it comes and it's so intense, and then it subsides, and then it comes again. And I would say for the last, about 9 months, actually, strange enough, I have had some labor pains, but it's been very intense in the last 6 weeks. And so to get this message was interesting, that there's something final for me that's happening. And then God said to me, something is going to happen on September 22nd. And I thought, okay, something is going to happen. What is it going to be, God? What is it going to be? And then about 2 days later, I was offered the opportunity to have my book cover on the NASDAQ screen in New York Times Square again. And I have a new book coming out called Transfiguration. And so I thought, yeah, we're going to do this. And then they said, and it will be on September 22nd. And I thought, oh, that is so beautiful. What a beautiful, timely thing. So God works with me in dates. My last book, Unleashed, I was guided to publish it on my 7-year marker of the date that I had almost committed suicide and chose to live. And that's when Unleashed came out. And so it seems timely that on this 3rd year anniversary of the completion of a 20-year marriage, it changed my whole entire existence to become a single mother. I would have my book up on the New York Times Square, preparing to bring the most sacred book that I've ever written to the world. The book called Transfiguration, the School of the Prophets. And so I share this with you because I want you to know that God knows you, and that God is aware of you, and God is aware of every detail. And as you partner in co-creation with God, you will walk these paths of miracles, and you will walk the paths of wonder, and you will walk the paths of anguish and pain. It is not one or the other. It is both, and it will always be both. But as we walk with God, it lessens the intensity because we see the purpose. We find the good, and we understand that it leaves. These intense moments leave. They come like waves. If somebody were to be in labor pain all day, every day, they would eventually not be able to live. But we understand that labor isn't forever, and we actually get breaks between the pain. And then we birth a baby and hold that baby in our arms. And every moment of pain is erased, and every moment of pain is forgotten. And all that we feel is love. And I believe that this is the path. That there will be labor pains, it will be intense, and you will think that you are going to die. And then it will stop, and you will get a break. And then eventually you will birth the creation that you and God have been working on. And you will forget about all of the pain. And you will be in the deepest place of joy. To co-create with God is our deepest place of joy. And so today, I'm going to invite you to pick up whatever it is that you need to give to God today. Maybe it's a burden. Maybe it's a question. Maybe it's a dream, a vision. Whatever it is, I invite you to pick it up and we're going to put it into God. And we're going to ask that God will transfigure it to match the frequency of miracles. And I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe out, just let it release off of your body. And then we are going to ask that God will touch our cells, that as God touches our cells, they may be wrapped in the environment of divine love, that our cells may be held, swaddled, loved by God. And in this love, that they may match a new blueprint, a blueprint of the visions that God has given us. And then we're going to ask that God will place his hands on our head to give us a blessing that we may receive the words that God has for us. And I will be quiet while you pray. Take a nice deep breath in. I invite you to open your palms to the heavens and ask that God will give you your most important action today. And you're going to listen. And then you're going to ask your angels, we're going to call them in through the light of Christ, that they may come and sit with us, hold space with us, that they may walk with us today. And then ask them to work with you. What do you need help with? What do you need? Do you need more time? Do you need a space of time to open up for you to work on your book? Do you need new clients? Do you need help with one of your children? Ask for help. For they live by the law of agency, and it is when we ask that miracles happen. So today, my love, remember that God remembers you. Remember that God knows you. And that as you co-create with God, there will be a partnership that is undeniable. There will be a safety that fills your body, and miracles will appear around every corner. And with that, my love, I thank you for wandering into the sacred with me today. And I will see you tomorrow morning in our prayer corner. Thank you, my love, for wandering into the sacred with me today. It is always an honor to hold this space for thousands of us to gather daily in sacred devotion. If you feel called to deepen this practice and join me live, I invite you to be a part of the Sacred Wandering Circle, a private, intimate space where we share our daily blessings in a Facebook group and gather once a month for a live 1-hour session. We come together to bless the body, to pray, and to receive. There is so much power when we unite with others who hold the sacred sacred. If your heart is nudging you, you can find the link in the show notes. And remember, you don't need anyone to help you hear God. You are the conduit. God speaks directly to you, and your prayer corner, it lives within you always.